Hey everyone, welcome to Faithful Fridays. We have reached another disconnect. It was this week that I realized we are in the final lap of summer, the last 30 days to be exact. Man, that spoke volumes. It's been an amazing summer. There hasn't been a dull moment. The lessons that have been able to be absorbed, the connections that I've been able to make, priceless. It's been a good summer. It really has Faithful Friday, as many know, was birthed from gratitude. It was birthed from gratitude and not allowing myself and those around me, just speaking on God's goodness and the ways that he's keeping us and how he's protecting us and covering us. I know a lot of times, you hear about gratefulness a lot of times when it comes to the holidays or around the holidays. And I'm a person that's all about consistency. I'm like, why do we only do this one time a year? Why are we not consistent in being grateful and thankful for those things that we have in our life? And so that's how this series was honestly birthed. Faithful Fridays, just talking about how faithful God has been throughout the week. This week I was able to absorb some nuggets through the things I was reading. Right now, I'm currently reading a very good book by Sarah Jakes. It's called Woman Evolve, and it's got some very, very, very good knowledge in that book that I've been absorbing throughout the week. But some of the nuggets that I was able to really explore and delve into this week and try to seek some understanding on was women. And why are we always at war? Because women, we are at war. That's just the truth. We have to own it. I had to own it. We're at war to protect our minds. We're always trying to protect our minds. And I'm going to look at my notes a little bit. I took notes so that I would stay on track. But our mind controls our moves. Our mind controls our self-worth. Our mind controls our stability and boundaries. Due to being a woman, we have the tendency to nurture and sometimes care too much. And so, that can affect us. It can affect our mind. We have to ask ourselves, our mind, are the thoughts that you're thinking, are they causing you to be more wiser, more compassionate, focused, disciplined? I was listening to a message this week from Pastor Mike, and I found him it was prior to the pandemic that I found him on YouTube and began to listen to him. I'm very inspired by his teachings and how applicable you can make them in your life. But he broke it down plain and simple. For me, when it came to the mind, is sometimes we have to go in airplane mode. And going into airplane mode will allow you to eliminate distractions that will stop you from reaching your destiny. Because believe it or not, there's always something that's going on that doesn't want us to get what we need to get done. And so sometimes we just have to silence the noise, put it on airplane mode. I know I'm really big with it. If I'm working on something, I will put my phone on airplane mode. The biggest thing for me is remembering to turn it back into a do not disturb manner. But I do that intentionally so that I can focus, so that I can get things done. Because unfortunately, it's just the nature. People don't know that you're busy, but it's going to be up to you to put a boundary there. So when we talk about protecting our minds, which can control our moves, we have to go airplane mode sometimes. It's inevitable. I mean, the message just stuck with me, y'all. It's impossible to travel high and still, talk and think low. And I was like, man, because the whole thing this year has just been like a process of separation to transform and be able to elevate. And so, that for me right there brought peace. Sometimes when God is trying to take you higher, he will cut out some of the chatter. He'll put you in airplane mode. So we have to raise our standards. That's why it's so important to practice gratitude daily, so we don't get caught up or stop being ungrateful for the good and the bad that is changing our life. We have to walk daily in confidence, especially in a season of uncertainty. Nobody knows what tomorrow holds. I always say that. We don't know what tomorrow holds, but in today, we have to be confident in what has been spoken of our life. Faith cannot establish roots when doubt continues to wear us down. When we're always doubting about what's going to happen and doubting how it's going to work out. It's going to work out the way it's supposed to work out, and you have to trust that. This week, because I want to keep it short and sweet, I leave you this week. It was a quote that I came across from Maya Angelou. It said, "Do the best you can until you know better." And to stretch that even further, but once you know better, You got to do better. And so as we're exposed to knowledge, things that we can apply and make applicable to our life, we have to make sure that we begin to do better if we want better, if we want to see better, if we want to see better for our family, because a lot of times we are working on building that legacy for the generations that shall come after us. And we want to leave them something. Because your actions are a direct reflection of what's taking place in your mind. That's why when you see people snap out or spaz out, or you're hearing a lot of crazy things that are going on, those are emotional attacks that have taken place on somebody's mind that are beginning to play out. And we have to be very cautious, very careful, not only women, men as well. We have to be very, very careful in making sure that we're protecting our mind, because that is the battleground. Remember, avoiding what scares you means what scares you controls you. So you're going to have to take some risks sometimes, and it's going to scare you. And sometimes you're not going to know if it's going to work out. But if it's supposed to work out, it will. And so just trust in that. I hope that you all have an amazing disconnect. Get out and do some things you got to do, want to do, plan to do, or hope to do. Just make memories, because your future self truly will thank you for that. You know the drill. I'll be back on Monday, Motivational Mondays. But until then, enjoy your disconnect. This has been your girl 7, and I'll see you soon.